So today we are going to practice. We have these words up here that we're going to practice. Pachu, what is the first word on our list today?
Deviate,
Deviate.
deviate,
Deviate.
de-
Deviate.
deviate,
Do you know that word?
deviate.
Do you know that word, deviate?
Yes.
What does that mean, to deviate?
Uh, it is difference from a standard.
Okay, yeah, to move off of your path, to go in a different direction
Ye-
from the way that you
Yes,
started.
yes,
Okay, that's right.
yes.
So, can you read the number one, the example that we have for this word deviate?
Okay. The conversation deviated from the topic and become personal.
Okay, what does that mean if you say the conversation deviated from the topic?
Means, yeah, the original topic was another, and then it deviated from that.
Deviated. When a word ends with a T sound, you add an extra syllable in the past. Deviated.
Deviated.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Means
Uh-huh.
the conversation went on another path.
That's right. So maybe they were talking about business, but then it went down a different path, and now it's personal. Is that pretty clear what the meaning is of deviate?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Can you say the first three words of that phrase?
The conversation deviated.
Okay. Which words are important in that phrase?
Uh, deviated.
Okay. What about? I think we should start being a little bit more generous with our emphasized words. Do you think conversation could also be a special word?
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Now, in that word conversation, which sound is big in that word? Conversation.
Con,
Con, con, conversation. Can you say that word? Conversation.
conversation,
Okay.
conversation.
Now, that final sound, shun, has that whistle sound. Shun, shun.
Uh, con, conversation,
Say
conversation.
is complicated because you have the S, the regular S, and then you have the whistle S. Say, shun. So
Yes.
one is a whistle and one is not. Say, shun. Can you say that?
Session,
That's good.
session.
Conversation.
Conversation,
Okay.
conversation.
What is the next word?
Is deviated,
Okay.
deviated.
Do do you know what is the difference between an F and a V? What is the difference between an F and a V?
Yeah, if we have to push out and we have to eat.
That's right. So
Yeah,
it's
inside.
physically with your mouth, it's the same sound, or you do the same things with your mouth to make the sound. But one you push out, the F you push out, and the V you have to eat, right? So what will happen to
Yes.
D
Yeah.
if we have the sound that we eat next?
Yeah. Yeah. Deviated.
It's
Deviated.
got to be longer.
Deviated.
It's got to be longer than the other ones. Deviated.
Deviated.
Wait,
Deviated.
and which sound has the accent? Which syllable has the accent in that word?
D. Deep.
Yeah,
Deep.
So those are two reasons why this must be a very big sound. One, it's the accented syllable, but also it has this situation where you have the eating sound, so it's much longer. So the conversation
Oh, yes, yes. The conversation deviated.
Mhm. It
Deviated.
really is
Yes,
long.
yes.
The conversation deviated. How will you add the words from and the to deviated?
Deviated from the
Okay, but it's like one word, so you don't stop, you don't pause. Deviated from the.
okay. uh, deviated from the
The conversation.
deviated
Mhm, go ahead.
from
The conversation deviated from the.
the conversation deviated from the
Okay. Now the final part, topic and became personal. Which words do you think would be important? Be more generous than we normally are.
okay. So personal,
Okay, personal. Where's the accented syllable in that word? Personal.
personal, s-
Personal.
son.
That would be personal. Is that the correct way to say that word? Personal.
So no. So per
Personal.
initial.
Personal. Personal.
Yeah.
Personal. Any other words?
Uh, became
Okay, became. And where's the accented syllable in that word? Became.
became second
Okay, the second one.
became.
All right.
Yes, became.
Any other words?
Mm, no.
Let's see. The conversation deviated from the topic. I think topic. I think we have to do topic also.
Yes, yes. If you take from the topic, then it is also topic.
Okay, and which syllable gets all of the attention in that word topic?
Top
Top,
topic.
top, 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 topic, topic.
Ta top
Okay, so now
topic.
we have our big small, big small, big small rhythm. The conversation deviated from the topic and became personal.
The conversation deviated from the topic and became personal.
Okay. How many phrases can we divide this sentence into?
Uh, Two.
What are the two phrases?
Yeah, the conversation deviated,
Oh,
and the second is and became personal.
okay. All right, so we'll separate it here. Now this first phrase, the conversation deviated from the topic. How will you like this to sound? Will you like this to sound friendly and nice or serious?
So make it serious.
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 Okay. Serious. All right. So, how will you say this final word topic? Will that be a very high tone or a low tone?
No, is a low tone
It's a low.
and the
Okay.
and blue and the next words conversation and deviate are high and the red.
Yeah, because what you want to do is you want to start high and then go low. Uh, so we'll start high.
Yeah,
The conversation deviated from the topic, and we'll finish very low. The conversation deviated from the topic.
yeah. The conversation deviated from the topic.
Deviated.
Deviated,
It's a big.
deviated,
The
deviated.
conversation deviated from the topic.
The conversation deviated from the
Okay. And now in the final phrase, how would you like that to sound? Would you like that also to sound serious? Uh-oh, Pachu.
yes,
Okay, there.
serious,
Serious. Serious. Okay. So how will you say how will you
serious.
say this word personal?
So a personal is low and blue,
Okay, is it Pachu?
and
Is it personal or personal?
personal.
Where is the R? When you say is that something that you eat or is that something that you push out of your mouth?
Yeah, it
Okay, so
ord
that means
ord.
so we've got two reasons to make this E extra long. One, it's the accented syllable, but two, it finishes with that and when you have the sounds that you eat, the vowel becomes longer. Personal.
Yeah, it's a personal,
Personal. Personal. And how does the phrase start? Does it
personal.
high or low?
So and the rest it will be high, and he be became
Hmm.
and sorry, and he became,
Okay. And became personal.
yeah, and became personal.
Okay, so the conversation deviated from the topic and became personal.
The conversation deviated from the topic and became personal.
Okay. Pachu, can you make a how conversation deviate from topic question?
How did the conversation deviate from the topic?
How did the conversation deviate from the topic? What is your most important word in your question?
Is how
Okay.
is how
How. So how would you put the words together? How plus did plus the.
how how did the how
How
did
did the
the
how
how
did
did
the
the
how did the conversation deviate from the topic?
how did the conversation deviate from the topic?
Okay, what should be the answer? I don't know what the answer could be. Uh,
Yeah, the conversation deviate from the topic.
okay.
Uh,
How?
mm,
You know,
someone in
mm,
yes, someone interfered,
okay, because let's say because someone interrupted. Let's say that because someone.
interrupted. Yes,
So the
yes.
conversation deviated from the topic because someone interrupted.
Okay. The conversation deviate from the topic because someone interrupted.
When a verb ends with a T or a D sound, it adds a new syllable. So you have to say deviated. You have to add a new syllable. Deviate. The
Yes,
conversation deviated from the topic because someone interrupted.
yes.
Can you say it like that?
The conversation deviate from the
You
topic.
have to add an extra syllable. Deviated.
Okay.
Deviated.
The conversation deviated from the topic
Hmm.
because someone interrupted
All right.
in between.
Okay. Let's move on to our next word for today, which is forthright. Have you seen that word before? Forthright?
Forthright, no.
Okay. That means to be very honest, to be very open and honest, being very
Yes.
direct. Can you read the example sentence? Uh oh.
The
Okay. I thought
okay.
I lost.
The teacher was forth. The teacher was forthright when discussing the students' performance.
What does that mean? The teacher was forthright when discussing the student's performance.
The teacher was honest
Mhm.
when discussing the student performance.
Very direct. Yeah,
Yes,
so
direct, direct.
your son is failing. He's doing a bad job. No polite way of saying
Yeah,
it. Does that make sense?
yes, because he is not reading too much
Mm.
and only wa- watching videos on YouTube. Yeah,
Maybe some teachers
so
to be nice and say, "I think your son could perform a little bit better." See, that would be indirect. But this teacher is saying, "Your son is failing. He's doing a bad job." Right? Do you see the difference?
my son's performance. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah, okay, got it. Yeah,
All right. Can you read the first four words of that sentence?
the teacher was forthright.
Now, in that phrase, the teacher was forthright. What will you consider to be the important words?
Is forthright,
Okay. I think we could
and the
also do,
teacher.
yeah, let's be a little bit more generous than we normally are. Okay, let's start
Yes,
to add a little bit more color to our sentences. Okay. Uh, so in the word forthright, which word gets all of the attention?
it's a forthright. Is
Forthright.
a fourth,
Why?
fourth,
Why?
because if they a compound noun, and so we have to stay on first.
Yeah,
If there are two words,
usually when you have two words together, it doesn't matter if they're together, like one word, or separate, but if they always appear together, then the first word will normally get all of the attention and not the second word. How about the word teacher? Where is the emphasis in the word teacher? Teacher. Teacher. Pachu's busy, so we'll put the emphasis on the first syllable. Teacher. Teacher. So we have the teacher was forthright. The teacher was forthright. If we add the word when to the final part of forthright, it sounds like this. The teacher was forthright when. The teacher was forthright when. Okay. And the final part of the phrase, discussing the student's performance. Discussing the student's performance. Let's start with discussing the. Discuss is also going to be an important word. Discuss. And the accent here is on cuss. Discuss. Actually, scuss. Let's say it's scuss. So if we say all of these words together, it would sound like this. The teacher was forthright when discussing the teacher was forthright when discussing the student's performance. Okay, and then the final part of the phrase, we have student's performance. I think we can emphasize both of those words. So we have the word student, 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 and the accent is here on stew. And then we have the word performance, and the accent is on perform. Okay, and now we have our rhythm. We have the rhythm of our sentence, which is big, small, big, small, big, small. The teacher was forthright when discussing the student's performance. Okay, why don't we? Let's see. Well, let's make a question with that. Let's make a what teacher discussing question. What teacher discussing question. What was the teacher discussing? What was the teacher discussing? In that question, what was the teacher discussing? The most important word is the word what. It's the word we want people to hear the most. We're asking a question, and that question is what. So it becomes a bigger word. What? What was the? What was the teacher? Yeah, we're making the big, small rhythm with our question. What was the teacher discussing? What was the teacher discussing? And the answer is the teacher was discussing the student's performance. The teacher was discussing the student's performance. Okay, uh, let's move on to number 3, which is a phrasal verb. Well, actually, I think I'm just going to take a 1-minute break, and maybe Pacha will join us when I come back. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. Let's see, I don't hear any more. Pacho, are you there? No, I think something happened in Pachu land. Oh well, we'll continue anyway. All right. So the next vocabulary word that we have is shrug off, and shrugging is this. It's this motion that you make with your shoulders, and usually when you see somebody do that, it could be different in where you come from or in your culture, but that means I don't know. That's what people do when they say I don't know or I don't care. People do that also when they want to show I don't care. I don't care. Okay, but to shrug something off, that's a phrasal verb, and that means to ignore something important or to dismiss something, tell something to go away, like, I don't care about that. Let's take a look at, oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not on mute. Okay. A few days ago, I left my microphone on mute and I was talking for like an hour. And I didn't realize it. Okay. Uh, so when you shrug something off, you're saying,
Yes.
I don't care. Pacho, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yes, someone entered my house, my room,
Mm-hmm.
and there was some dispute.
Oh no, that's.
Uh, yeah, with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just settled down
Mm-hmm.
and came.
Is everything
Hey,
okay?
he's yeah, he is my friend.
Uh-huh.
from the um, university, and
Mhm.
he's also doing a job, but due to some problem, and so I just settled down because I said that I don't have to say anything about me,
Mhm.
bad thing, because my family stays out. So please do not do that. And I settled down. He went in his home.
Everything
So
is
yeah,
okay.
now in
Everything is
yeah
okay.
yes, it is
Okay.
okay now.
All
Yes,
right. Well, Pachu, do you know the word shrug?
Srog.
Shrug.
No, sir. No.
Oh, Alex is here. Alex, you can join us if you want. We only have one person today, so if you'd like to practice with us, we have two more words to practice today. So go ahead and join us if you like. Shrug is this. Can you see me in the
Srog.
video, Pachu, doing this?
Srog off. Yeah.
Shrug. Well, this is shrug when you do this. Can you see what I'm doing?
Uh, y-
Move your shoulders up.
oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
What,
Yes.
what, what
Okay.
does
Yeah.
what does that mean if you shrug? What does shrugging mean? Does that because maybe it's different in Nepal and it doesn't mean the same thing.
It means uh, there is some gesture like when we do this when someone who do not care or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's the same in
Yes.
Nepal. You can do that in Nepal.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Many people do this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What do you think the phrasal verb shrug off means?
Shrug off means to dismiss or ignore something as unimportant.
Yeah, like who cares? It's not important.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you read the example sentence that we have? Read number 3. What does it say?
I try to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Hmm. What does that mean? How will you interpret that sentence?
So I before presentation, my I my nervousness.
Hmm.
Uh, I ignored my nervousness.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
before presentation,
forget it.
I ignored.
Yeah, you ignored it.
Yeah.
Alex is here. Alex, can you read the example sentence? Uh oh.
Uh,
Oh, there he is. Okay.
I I I cannot see it. Which
Oh,
one
that's
you wanted?
right.
Number
Okay, you're
three or
just
number
done.
four?
Okay, let me put it. I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay.
Okay. So yeah. I try to shrug off. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
I, I try to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Have you seen that word before? Shrug off, that phrasal verb.
Yes, yes, yes,
You
yes. But
okay?
I couldn't remember what it means in my language, but I read it a few times here before.
Hmm.
So yeah.
What does shrug mean?
Man, it's you move your shoulder to show that disapprove or don't care, careless, something like
Yeah. So to shrug something off means ignore it. It's not important. I don't
ignore.
care.
Yeah. Mm.
Can you, Alex? Can you say the first 4 words?
I try to shrug off my nervousness.
Okay.
Oh, forward. Sorry, I try to shrug off. Yeah.
Okay. Alex, what is the difference? Do you know what the difference is between a K sound and a G sound? They're very
K
similar.
or J.
Yeah, they're very
Sorry,
similar
J and G.
sounds.
Yeah.
What's the difference? They're very similar. There's just one difference. What is it?
J G A. It's like J. It's like ended with like an it's like it's a long sound, and G it's
Hmm.
K. Oh, K and G.
K and G. Yeah, K and G.
Oh, K and G.
Yeah, the sounds are
G
very similar.
G.
There's just one difference. What is the difference?
J is K is voiceless. J
Okay.
is voiced.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
Am I right?
That you're right.
Yeah.
But let's say it in a simple way. K is a
Mm-hmm.
is a sound that you push out of your mouth. K, k. You push that out of
Ka,
your mouth.
ka. Yeah.
But G
Mm-hmm.
is it's the same thing, but you eat it. G, g, g.
G, g. Yeah.
So
G.
the
Yeah.
sounds when you have a sound that you eat, it makes the vowel sound in front of it much longer. So it's not good to say shrug. That's very
G.
difficult to understand. Because G is a sound that you eat, g, it goes down your throat. You have to
G.
say shrug.
Shrug.
It has to be
Shrug.
not shrug. No,
Shrug off.
no, not shrug.
Shrug.
It's shrug.
Shrug.
Shrug because of the G.
Shrug off.
Hmm.
Okay.
Shrug
Okay.
off.
Shrug off.
Shrug off.
Shrug off. Yeah.
Can you say,
Yes.
I tried to shrug off?
I tried shrug off.
Hmm. I tried to shrug off. What are the important words in
I
that phrase? I
I tr-
tried.
I tried. I think.
And shrug.
I
And
I
shrug
tried.
off.
I tried. Yeah. Mm.
Okay. So we'll make these big. Uh, Now, I think that shrug off, that's a pretty literal phrasal verb. So we'll emphasize not the word shrug, but let me see if this keeps
So
the. Oh, this does not keep.
yeah, if it's a little. Okay.
Sleep to 2,200 says, can anybody join? Well, right now we have two people practicing. I think that's the limit because if we have more than two people, that becomes very confusing. But whenever there's nobody or one person, you're always welcome to join. But right now, I think we've reached our limit for today. Okay, so the words we'll emphasize will be tried and off. I tried to shrug
Off. Yeah.
off. I tried to shrug off.
I heard you the other day. You said if it's a literal, your emphasis on the on the what we call it is
Preposition, the
the
preposition. Yeah.
preposition. Yeah, I
So
heard you.
when
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so when
So
it's literal, you want to
I
focus on the preposition. Go
mhm.
ahead.
I tried to shrug off,
Okay, off.
shrug
It's
off,
got to
to
be
shrug off,
off.
off,
Off has
shrug
to be,
off.
yeah. Off has to be big. I tried to shrug
Oh,
off.
oh, yeah. I tried to shrug off.
Pachu, can you say that? I tried to shrug off.
I tried to shrug off.
Okay, shrug, shrug.
Shrug off,
Mm-hmm.
shrug off. Yeah,
Pachu, can you say make shrug longer? Shrug off. You want that
shrug
vowel
off,
sound to be
shrug off. Okay, I
Shrug,
tried to.
shrug off.
shrug.
Shrug
I
off.
tried to shrug off.
I tried to shrug off.
Okay. What are the next two words, Pachu? Pachu.
Yes.
What are the next two words?
My nervousness.
My nervousness. Uh, are any of those words important?
Yeah, is my.
Now you can make any word that you want to be important, but if you pick a word that is normally not important, it will have a very special meaning. If you say, I tried to shrug off my nervousness, that means not his, not hers, not theirs, but my. So it's like you're clarifying some confusion about who is nervous. Because normally my is not a word that is emphasized.
Yes. Yes.
So I think the
It's a
word
pronoun.
what?
Normally, we don't emphasize the pronoun.
Yeah,
Am I
normally
right?
pronouns are not emphasized. If you do, that suddenly gives it a very special meaning.
Get a different. different meaning. Yeah.
Do you understand, Pachu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but nervousness, yes. Nervousness, yes. Which
Yes.
which syllable has all of the force in nervousness? Nervousness.
Ner.
Ner.
Nervousness.
Ner.
Nerve,
Make it big because
nerves.
it's the special sound in this word. Okay. So now we have our pattern developing. I tried to shrug off my nervousness. Can you say that, Pachu?
Is nervousness. Nervousness.
Can you say the whole phrase? I tried to shrug off my nervousness.
I try to shrug off my nervousness.
Alex, can you say that?
I try to shrug off my nervousness.
Hmm. Now, off, that's an important word, right?
Oh. I try to shrug off my nervousness.
That's better. I tried to shrug off my nervousness. Okay.
I try to shrug off my nervousness. Okay.
Alex, the final three words. What are the final three words?
Before the presentation,
And which words would you say are important in that phrase?
I would say the presentation.
Okay. Presentation.
Presentation itself.
Okay. And
Presentation.
which syllable has all the power in that word? Presentation.
Presentation. Presentation.
Tay,
Station.
tay, tay,
Tay.
tay.
Present. Present. Yeah. Station. I think.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Station. Yeah.
So, how would these three words sound together before the presentation? How would that sound like one word?
Before the presentation.
Before the presentation.
Yeah. Before the presentation. Yeah.
I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
I try to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Okay. Pachu, can you say the final three words? Before the presentation.
Before the presentation.
I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation. Say everything.
I try to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Pachu, how many phrases can we divide this sentence into?
Is it two?
Okay, what are the two phrases?
I try to shrug off my nervousness.
Okay, so we'll,
The first.
all right, and before the presentation.
Before the presentation.
How will you like this to sound? Would you like this to sound serious or nice and happy and friendly?
As a serious.
Serious, okay. So that means that we'll make our final important word all blue. We'll make it all low. Nervousness. But how will our
Not
phrase start?
as a high tone.
High tone. Okay, because phrases normally start high and end low. All right,
Yeah.
so we have I tried to shrug off my nervousness.
I try to shrug off my nervousness.
Alex, can you say that phrase? Try to start
I
high. I tried to shrug off my nervousness.
I try to shrug off my nervous.
Okay. Now you're
I
saying
try I try to shrug off my nervousness.
okay, now Alex, what you're doing is you're making ner high. And that's good if you want to sound friendly and nice. But we want to sound serious, so we'll make everything low. Nervousness.
Okay, nervousness. Okay, yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
no,
yeah,
no, no.
I
You're
missed
saying
this one.
you're
You
saying
said
nervousness. You're going up and then down, but just
nervousness,
try to stay down.
nervousness,
Nervousness, nervousness.
nervousness. Okay, nervousness.
I
Okay,
tried to shrug
okay.
off my
I
nervous.
I tried to shrug off my nervousness.
Okay, right. So that sounds more serious than nervousness.
Nervousness. Okay,
Okay.
I
Well,
tried to shrug off my nervousness.
and oh wait, I better. Oh, we've got it here. Okay. Now, in the final part of the phrase, Alex, before the presentation, how would you like that to sound? Would you like to sound nice and friendly, or would you like to sound serious?
I, I would say if you started serious, you have to finish it. You need to finish it serious, or I don't
Okay,
know.
but you can mix them if you want. But sure, okay. So how will we say the final word? Presentation. Will there be any high note?
Before no, but I think we're going to put a bit of a stress in hey, station.
Okay, but it's all going to be
It's going
low.
to be
It will be stressed, but it will be a low stress. It won't be presentation.
a low,
Well,
low stress. No
it,
presentation.
yeah, it won't be high.
Presentation.
It'll be low because we want to sound serious.
Yeah,
Presentation.
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 Presentation. Yes.
Yeah. So
Before the presentation. Yes.
yeah. So if we wanted to sound nicer, we could make that te high before the presentation.
Presentation.
But if we want to,
Presentation.
okay, but we're going to start the phrase high, okay? Because that's how phrases normally
Okay.
start. Before the presentation.
Before the presentation.
Okay.
Before the presentation.
Okay. I tried
Before the presentation. Yeah.
I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
hmm I think, Alex, you must
Okay. I
be
tried to
a
shrug
very
off my
friendly person by nature because you keep making these high notes instead of low notes. So I tried to shrug off
like
my nervousness before the presentation.
presentation. Okay.
Try again.
Okay. It's okay. I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Okay. Pachu, can you say the final phrase? Before the presentation.
Before the
Before
presentation.
before the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Pachu, can you say the whole phrase? I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation. Go ahead, Pachu. Uh-oh. Has Pachu disappeared?
I don't know. I think yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think no, no. He's still in the line. He's in
well,
the line.
yeah, but
Oh yeah.
sometimes his voice disappears for a while. So,
Okay.
Alex, Alex,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
oh, Pachu's here. Okay, Pachu, try to say it. I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
I try to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Okay, Pachu, can you make a when try shrug off nervousness question?
When, when did you try to shrug off your nervousness?
Okay.
Mhm.
What is the most important word in your question?
What?
Well, we're making a
The-
when question, though.
Sorry. When?
When. Okay.
When?
So, how will you pronounce when plus did plus you?
When did you? When
When
did
did
you?
you? When did you? When did you?
When did you? When
Make the
did
whole.
you?
How about try to? How will you pronounce all of those words together? When did you try to?
When did you try to shrug off
Mm-hmm. Shrug
your
off.
nervousness?
We'll emphasize the word off. Shrug off your nervousness.
Shrug off.
Mm-hmm. When did you try to shrug off your nervousness? Oh, Pacha's gone again. Alex, can you try to make that question? When did you try to
Okay.
shrug off your nervousness?
When did you shrug off your nervousness?
When did you try to?
When did you try to
Mhm.
shrug off your nervousness?
Shrug
Shrug off. Yeah.
off.
When did
Shrug
you
off.
try to shrug off?
Shrug
Shrug
off
off. Okay.
your nervous.
When did you try? Okay. When did you try to shrug off your nervousness?
Okay. And what is the answer, Alex?
I tried to shrug off my nervousness before the presentation.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here's our final word for today. Pacho, are you back? Did you return?
Yes.
Back from the
Yes.
land of mystery?
Yes. Today my voice is dancing.
Your voice is dancing? What does that mean, your voice is dancing?
Yeah, just coming and going.
Oh, yeah, that happens to me every day.
That's it's like a breaking up.
What?
It's like a breaking up. The voice is breaking up.
Breaking up?
He has a problem with the connection. Yeah, it's like a breaking problem with the connection.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
hear him okay right now. Okay. Well, anyway, Pachu, can you read the final word or the final sentence for today?
Her heart's words stung when he couldn't forget them.
Okay, well, we've had that word harsh before. We've talked about that before. Do you remember what that means, Pachu, to say harsh?
Yeah, hers means is a hard or yeah,
Extreme.
difficult. What to say?
Extreme.
Extreme.
Extreme in a bad way, not in a good way. So, harsh words are bad words, not very nice words that you say to someone. You're stupid. Those are harsh words. They're not nice. Have you seen that word
Yes.
before, Alex? Harsh?
Yes, yes. Harsh is rude or tough or something like that.
Well, but it's not just rude because it could be like, do you, Alex, do you live in a hot place?
I used to.
You used to. Okay. So think about, on the very hot day and the sun is very bright, and you could call that the harsh sun.
Okay, yeah.
So it means extreme. It doesn't just mean rude. It just means
Extreme. Yeah.
like a bad kind of extreme. There could be or imagine an extremely hot day and the wind is blowing, but it's a hot wind, so it almost hurts. That's a harsh wind.
Okay. Awesome.
And do you live in a cold place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can talk about the harsh winter or the harsh wind again.
Harsh winter. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it means extreme. It means extreme, harsh. It could be so harsh words are rude words, but it just means extreme words, bad words. Is that pretty clear what harsh means?
Mm-hmm.
What does the word
Thanks.
sting what does the word sting mean?
Sting. Sting. It's like if you have a stain in your clothes, it's something stick, something like your marks have a marks or doesn't come off easy, or you cannot
Okay.
forget it, or something like that.
Well, you're thinking of the word stain. Stain. That's like
A
a
stain. It's like if you have a dirt in your clothes or something in your.
yeah.
Am I right?
No, well, that's stain, but we're talking about sting. I'm going to put two things up here for you. I'm going to put this in the chat and
Sting.
Discord.
Sting.
So you can see. I forget that
Sting.
you're not watching the video.
Mhm.
So you have to remind me.
No. I can see it now. I have another devices.
Oh,
I
okay, you're
have another
watching it.
device.
Okay,
I can
all
see
right.
the YouTube and the other one. Yeah,
Okay,
I can see it now. Yeah.
all right. Do you know what a bee is? What is a bee?
B. It's at B. It's like a fly.
Yeah, it's
Fly,
like an
like it's
insect,
like
right?
to make hand. Yeah.
And do you like bees?
Oh Jesus, yes.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, do you
I
like
like
to
I like honey.
you like honey, but do you like to
I
be
like
near?
honey.
Do you like to be near bees? Do you like to be around?
I have I I have a bad experience. No.
Well, oh, really? What kind of bad experience do you have with a bee? What happened
Oh
to you?
Jesus, like it's when it bites you, like the
Mm.
bee, when the bee bites you, like
A
it's awful.
bee,
Like it's not an easy.
mm,
Yeah,
a bee stings you. A bee stings you.
thanks you. Yeah,
So
thanks you.
that's a feeling. That's a sensation that you have if a bee bites you. A bee stings you. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
So a sting is like a lot of pain. It causes a lot of pain.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So what does that mean if you say her words sting?
It's like when you disrespect somebody, it's not easy to forgive you, or not easy to forget it.
Yeah, they say very bad.
Okay.
They say things to you that hurt you very much.
Yeah. Affect your feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, and the past of sting. It's an irregular verb. It's stung, stung.
Stung. Yeah.
Okay, so her harsh words stung. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, Pachu, can you read the first four words?
Her horse was stung.
Okay. What would you say are the most important words in that phrase?
Yeah, is a stung
Okay.
and horse.
Okay. So stung and harsh are our big important words here. Okay.
Yes.
So how will you pronounce these four words if you're emphasizing the words harsh and stung?
So, horse and stung.
Mm-hmm. Say all four words, but emphasize those two words only.
Okay. So her horse was stung.
Mm-hmm. Her harsh words stung. Her harsh
Her
words.
horse, her horse was stung.
Alex, can you say that phrase? How would you say that? Emphasizing the words harsh and stung.
Her harsh words stung.
Mm-hmm. Her harsh words stung. Okay.
Her
Alex.
harsh words stung. Yeah.
Okay, Alex, in the final part, and he couldn't forget them, which words do you think are most
Mhm.
important?
Couldn't forget. Couldn't forget
Okay.
them. Couldn't forget. Couldn't and them. I
Well,
don't know.
now
Can,
remember
can we have to?
remember before you said earlier, oh, you don't normally emphasize
Oh
pronouns.
yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
true.
Pronouns. Yeah.
That's true.
So
You don't
could,
normally
he
emphasize
couldn't. He
pronouns.
couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't forget them. Forget
Okay.
them.
So
Couldn't forget. Couldn't forget. Yeah.
couldn't forget. Okay. Now in that phrase in
Mm.
that word couldn't, which word gets all of the attention?
Couldn't. Then couldn't. The first couldn't.
Could.
Yeah.
Could.
Couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
Could. Yeah.
about forget? Forget.
Forget. I think the last syllable, the
The last
second
syllable.
syllable,
That's right.
second. Yeah.
Alex, how would forget plus them, how does that sound?
Sorry, I didn't get
What would be
the
the
question. Can
how
you
would
repeat?
if you pronounce forget plus them, how would it sound in a normal if you're
Okay.
just talking?
Forget them.
Oh, but
Forget them.
actually, the word them always just becomes So really
Forget them.
most people would probably pronounce this forget them. Forget them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forget
Forget
them.
them. Forget them. Yeah. He couldn't forget them. Yeah. He couldn't
Couldn't
forget him.
couldn't forget them.
He couldn't forget him. Yeah.
How would you pronounce and plus he?
And he. And
Okay.
he. And
But
he.
a lot of times the word and just becomes an N sound. So it sounds like this.
And
Ni,
he. And he. Yeah.
ni, ni,
And
ni,
he.
ni,
Knee. Oh, knee. Okay. Knee.
ni. There's an N sound plus
Knee.
E. Ni.
Knee. Knee.
And he couldn't
Yeah.
forget him. And
Knee.
he couldn't forget him.
And he couldn't forget him.
Right.
And he couldn't forget him.
His harsh words stung and he couldn't forget him.
Her harsh words stunning, and he couldn't forget him.
Pachu, can you say, and he couldn't forget him?
He couldn't forget him.
He couldn't forget him.
He couldn't forget him.
And he couldn't forget him.
He couldn't forget him.
Her harsh words stung and he couldn't forget him.
Her horse was stung and he couldn't forget him.
Okay.
Am I
Pachu,
saying right?
you are.
Couldn't or
If you weren't saying it right,
okay.
then I would tell you, but you are. Can you say it again?
Uh, he couldn't forget him.
See, it's okay to pronounce the T. Now, I personally don't, but some people do. So some people will say couldn't forget him, but I don't really pronounce the T, and I say couldn't forget him. It's fine either way, doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay.
Her her horse was stung and he couldn't forget them.
Yeah, you can pronounce everything if you want. It's mainly just for listening, to improve your listening that we practice changing them to You don't have to say that. That's pretty bad English, but most people do that. Forget them.
Yeah, but I like forget them. Yeah, and
Easier.
I am just forget them because it has been a long
Mhm.
35 years
Yeah.
from my journey
Yeah, but that's
of
okay.
saying
I mean, but
that
either
way.
way,
So it
it's
is hard to leave.
it's better English to say forget them. So that's more preferable. But most people will say forget them.
Yes, forget them. Yeah, I like forget them.
It's easier to say.
it's a type. Yeah, it's a type of
Yes,
laziness. If you get me, some people try to be lazy, not to pronounce every word and every sound. You know,
Well, that's very. But you're right. It's lazy, but it's people do it because it's easier, and most people do it. So
yes.
when you're talking to people, that's what you hear most of the time. You won't people unless they're angry, they won't say forget them. They'll say forget them.
forget them. Yeah. They have to. Yeah, if they forget them, that means hey, yes. Put a stress in them. That means
Yeah.
I
So but that's really what we're practicing. We make the important words big and we make the unimportant words small. And that's how people talk.
small. Yes.
So it's a way to sound more natural when you're speaking, but it's also a good way to understand people when they're speaking regular normal English to you. Okay,
Yes, and
go ahead.
yes, and I just want to say that we we actually do equal is equal force all
Hmm.
syllabus in of words, and also we do not leave any space.
Yeah, well, what do you mean by leave any space?
Must we just put the gaps between the words?
Hmm. Oh, yeah, it sounds very like a robot, like a robot.
Robot.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that, but normally you need to listen more. If you
Mm.
want to listen more to improve your pronunciation as well, you need to listen more.
Well,
yes, and
the big way to improve your pronunciation is to notice that some vowel sounds become very long. And if you give equal time to each vowel sound, it becomes very difficult to understand the words that you're saying. Some vowel sounds are very, very long and some are short. And when you have the long sound, it's
yeah,
important to pronounce every part of that sound.
yes.
I
So
I
in
I spend it. Sorry. Go on, Bash. Sorry.
uh, and in our school, like we just studied the English as a subject,
Hmm.
and never we sound of heard sound of English in 10 years of period. Just we read and write,
Yeah.
and now I feel, yeah, the sound of the words that are quite different. We learned, but not what we not good for the speaking and the listening.
Yeah.
So
But it hurts both of those things. It hurts your speaking and your listening.
yeah,
Understand this
yeah.
concept. Alex, did you want to say something before we continue?
No, just I was going to say that I spent 10 years to study English. Yeah, but uh, I didn't actually put any effort to for on a pronunciation because
Hmm.
the way we learned it in school, we learned the letters. We didn't mention anything about the sounds.
Yeah.
Okay, and in English you have more than like you have five vowels, but you have about 25 or
Yeah.
something like different sounds in the vowels. I spent 10 years after that to recognize, but I'm still
Mhm.
a bit confused with, and the more I need to put more effort, to just to have a clear accent or clear pronunciation. It's I need to go back to study every and each single sound again. Try to know the difference.
Yeah, but
Uh,
the
that
secret,
will that,
the real power is in the vowel sounds. That's the thing that
yes, yes,
people miss. That's the thing that makes sometimes difficult for other people to understand you. It's because the real secret is in the vowel sounds.
yes. I was listening some other day to a video about Elon Musk and
Mhm.
the way he like learned things. He said you have to master the basic first. If you
Mm.
don't master the basic things first, you find it hard to keep up. If you get what I mean, because you're going to keep confusing yourself. So anyone yeah, and need to go back again. What you're doing is actually brilliant. Actually, I wish I have known you for yeah, a long time ago. Like,
It's
but you're
hard.
doing a brilliant.
Tell that to YouTube or the YouTube algorithm.
Really, no. Look, people don't care about they only looking for the entertainment. People,
Mhm.
they don't studying and the good stuff is not recognized at
Well,
in the YouTube. It's not just in the YouTube, in the whole world.
yeah.
People doing the good things. The people do, yeah.
So I have to find.
But actually,
Go ahead.
mm, actually, you're doing a great thing. Actually, you're doing a great thing. If the people like spending like listen to your pronunciation like 2 3 times a day just for a one video, and they will make a big difference.
Yeah. Well,
I
go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm finished.
Okay. All right. Well, so Alex, how many phrases can you divide this sentence into? How many phrases do we have in our sentence?
I, normally, if we have and that and just join in two phrases.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, but you can have
her
more phrases.
her
That's true. You're right. That and will maybe show us that we have two phrases, but sometimes you could make even more phrases if you want. So, do you want to just leave it at two phrases?
I don't know I would say two phrases.
Okay.
It's going to give the meaning. If you get what I mean.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So, in the first phrase, her harsh words stung. How do you want to sound? Do you want to sound serious or do you want to sound nice and friendly?
I would say it has to be serious.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we won't add any high tones to the last part of the phrase. We'll just
The
finish
last, yeah.
very low. Okay. But Alex, how does a phrase normally start? Does it start high or low?
It's normally start high.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just go down. We'll start high and we'll finish very low. Her harsh words stung.
Her harsh word stung.
Pachu, can you say that? Her harsh words stung.
Her harsh was stung,
Okay. Pachu, the second phrase. Can you read that?
a- and he couldn't forget them.
Okay. And he couldn't forget them. Make sure that you just emphasize could and get. Everything else is small and insignificant. And he couldn't forget them.
And he couldn't forget them.
hmm Okay. And how would you like this to sound? Do you want it to sound serious or nice and friendly?
It's serious.
Serious. Okay. So we'll make all of this, we'll finish low with no high tones to sound friendly. We'll just keep it very low. But how will we start our phrase?
Is high.
High,
Breast
because
is high.
yeah, because most
Mm.
phrases start high. So, and he couldn't forget him.
And he couldn't forget them.
hmm Her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget him.
He hearts was sorry. Her hearts was stung, and he couldn't forget them.
Alex, can you say the final phrase? And he couldn't forget him. Alex, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you say the final phrase?
And he
Go ahead.
and he couldn't forget him.
And he couldn't forget him. Try to go a little bit lower.
And he couldn't.
hmm
And he couldn't forget him.
hmm Her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget him.
Her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget him.
Uh, okay. Let's see. Alex, can you make a question? What she say to him? How would you make that question? What she say to him?
Oh, okay. Her harsh. What did she say to him?
Okay, what did she say to him? All right. What is your most important word?
Oh,
What is your most important?
oh, we or we can say why couldn't he forgive her, or why couldn't
Okay.
he
Oh, wait. Why couldn't he forget her? What are you talking about? Are you talking about her? He's in love with her. Why couldn't he forget her? Or what thing couldn't he forget?
no forgive her because I won't say that because she did something wrong and he could not forget her. Forgive, not forgive.
Forgive? That
Okay,
would
no,
want
it's
to use
not good.
forgive? Forgive?
Yeah,
Okay.
forgive, not for.
So make ask
But
why not forgive
it's
her? Make that question then.
what why couldn't he forgive her, or why didn't he forgive her,
Let's say
or
couldn't. Let's use couldn't. Make it again. Say it again. Why couldn't he forgive her? Say it again.
why couldn't he forgive her?
Okay, and what is your most important word in that question?
Why
Okay.
why
So that
and
you,
why
because
and couldn't?
it was so because that word is important. Why? We'll make it very big. Why? Why?
Why couldn't he
That's
forgive
right.
her?
And couldn't he is very small. Why couldn't he?
Why couldn't he?
Mm.
Why couldn't?
Why couldn't he?
Why couldn't he?
Why couldn't he
Why couldn't
forgive
he?
her? Why couldn't he forgive her?
Why why couldn't he forgive her?
Mm-hmm. Pachu, can you make that question?
Why couldn't he forget them?
Why couldn't he forgive her?
Why couldn't he forgive her?
Couldn't he? Knee. That E, that E is very important
Okay.
because it's the only reason I know that you're saying he. So it has to be pretty long. Why couldn't he?
Why couldn't he?
And you can pronounce the T if you like. Why couldn't he?
Why why couldn't he?
That would be more common, I think, in the UK to say couldn't he. But in North America, we don't like T sounds, so we say couldn't he. Why couldn't he?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is going smooth and sounds very good. Yeah,
it's,
couldn't he?
it's very lazy. Why couldn't he? Why could?
Why couldn't he?
How do you say forgive plus her?
Uh, forgiver.
Forgiver, forgiver. Why couldn't he forgive her?
Why couldn't he forgive her?
Okay, what is the answer, Pachu? Why couldn't he forgive her?
Because her harsh words.
So tell me the whole thing. Because her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget them.
Because her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget them.
Okay.
Forgive her.
Wait. Is it forget them or is it forget them?
Okay, he couldn't forget him.
Yeah,
He
because
couldn't forget him.
if you give too much power to the word them, it's like you're giving it special attention, and people are saying, "Oh wow, what did he say?" It makes them a very big, powerful word when normally it's not. It's just a little sound, something you throw away. Forget them.
Forget him.
That's not
Forget him.
the
Yep.
there's a difference in the idea between forget them and forget them, which is what you said. I'm exaggerating. You didn't really say
Yeah.
it like that. But if you put too much focus on the word them, it has a special meaning. Do you understand?
Okay. So yes. So them in them we
Hmm.
have to uh, produce sound schwa. No. So
It is,
forget them.
yeah,
Forget
it is a
them.
schwa
Yeah.
sound. It's just forget them, forget
Oh,
them.
yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. So forget them.
Yeah, but
Forget
even yeah,
them.
even if
Yeah.
you pronounce all of the sounds, it's still them. It's still them. He couldn't forget them.
Yeah. He couldn't forget them.
If you produce
Forget them.
the vowel the way it's supposed to sound, them, that sounds like you're emphasizing it, and it's a special word. And then people are wondering, well, what did she say? What was so special about those words? Do you see the
Yes.
difference?
Yeah. Yes. Got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Just
Forget.
say the sentence one more time. Her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget them.
Her harsh words stung, and he couldn't forget them.
Okay, wonderful.
Forget.
Alex,
Yes,
why couldn't he forgive her?
her harsh word stung, and he couldn't forget him.
Okay, so because her harsh words stung and he couldn't
Oh,
forget him.
forget him, yeah. Because her harsh word stung, and he couldn't forget him.
Okay. All right. Well, that was our final word for today. Okay. Thank you very much for
Yes, sir.
participating. Go ahead. What?
So just a query. Just in the New York City,
Mm-hmm.
people speak very fast because in one my task
Mm,
where I have to highlight the incorrect words and the audio is always very fast.
mm-hmm.
So when I listen for my exam, so it generally comes from American scientific or uh, how HBR.
Mm.
Yeah, means Howard Business Review. Oh, these are the um, places where the audio comes, I think, and they are very fast, not normal. So it is very difficult to catch the words
Well,
to highlight the incorrect words.
first of all, I just want to say that I'm from the Chicago area, and when I was younger, I moved to Los Angeles and I noticed nobody could understand me. And I always thought, I don't have an accent. Why can't people understand me? And I realized that they speak much slower in Los Angeles than they do in Chicago. And then I had to start speaking very slowly so that people could understand me. But I don't think that when you say that people speak fast, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's what we're practicing, that they reduce a lot of words. So, for example,
Yes,
instead of them. It sounds fast because you're making all of these words short, but it's not really fast. It's just that a lot of words become reduced, but only the important words become big. So I think,
yes, and
go ahead.
I also noticed that the voice of black people, yeah, they are generally coming in my task.
Uh huh.
Voice of black people, they are speaking very fast.
Well, it might not be the voice. It might be because certain black people speak in a somewhat different way than what you might consider to be standard, and that could be difficult to understand because we've been reading this book, Gone with the Wind, and it's I have to interpret for you what Mammy is saying. So that requires interpretation. It's much different from what you might consider to be standard. So that's part of the reason I think. I don't know if it's about speed. I think it's more about pronunciation or word choices.
It's
Okay, sir.
they call it dialect,
What did you
different
say?
dialects.
Different dialect. It is a different dialect. Yeah. And it's one that people are not very familiar with unless maybe you grew up.
I myself find it very hard to understand the African American
It could
people, the
be
people in this.
sometimes, depending on where they're from or how they grew up, it could sometimes be difficult
Uh,
to understand.
even to watching a movie, yeah, with African American, I find it like I missed the half of the movie. I can't understand them.
Yeah, it could be very different.
Yeah,
Sometimes the pronunciation or the words that they choose could be very different. Okay.
And sir, and in your area, there are mostly African American there living.
Are you asking where do
Chicago,
w-
Chicago.
well, mostly I think mostly big cities, but if you're wondering where most of the black people live, I would say it's really in the south, the southern part of the United States. But also any big city. I think mostly any big city you'll probably find a large population of black people and other people as well.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Well, I think we have to finish here for today. And thank you, everybody, for
Okay,
your
sir.
questions
Thank you,
and
sir.
comments. And thank you, Alex
thanks,
and
thanks,
Pachu, for participating
thanks,
today.
thanks for your work. It's a pleasure.
Fun.
And I
Pleasure.
plan to
Thank you so much.
return. I'll probably be back in about 9 hours to do Dracula. We have to finish
Okay.
these books. They've been going on forever. All right.
Yeah, before Christmas. Yeah,
Before, well, I wanted, I started Dracula thinking, oh, I'll finish this before Halloween, and I was very excited to do some Charles Dickens books for Christmas time, and now I've sort of missed my
Mhm.
opportunity. Oh well. Okay.
yeah. We have to finish 1 or 2 days. Yeah, because the Christmas is coming,
Yeah, Chris,
and everyone is going on a holiday.
that's right. Okay. Well, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
sir.
Take care.